Hi Crystal, so today is day 5 of oil pastel tutorial and here I am with nature drawing. So I would be talking about some more points and let me tell you beforehand that these all points are not been written in any book because these all points are made by myself only and they're very important to know. Just I have just cut these lecture in these point for better understanding, like you will understand it better and easily. That's why I had made these points. Okay, so don't think that it has been written anywhere. No, but these are very common and yet important. That's why I am talking about those things right now. The first one is types of nature drawing, the second technique to use in nature drawing, and the position third one is position ideas, and the fourth one is shades to use. Now here I have talked about some points beforehand also, but I would like to explain it more now on the basis of nature drawing, not on other things. Okay. So the first one is types. Now if I would consider it, I would definitely tell you two types of nature drawing. The first one that has like very much specificness and have a lot of detail, and the second one is that easy one. You have to just focus on background and that's it. You have to just do a little bit of you know uh, give it little bit of effects and detail. So here I would explain you with the help of this marker only. What you have to do, first of all, just take a background or like any page. Then you have to divide it with oil pastel only. So here I'm doing with marker, but it's not like you have to do with marker, it's like you have to do with oil pastel. First of all, you will do like this. You have to make the background the sky, then you have to work on the lower background of that horizontal line, and then you have to work on plants and trees upon those background. Okay, and that is very common and easy one. So as I had shown you, it's the easy one. Okay, now the second is if you are going to make any flowers or any plant, so you have to be specific about all those things. Like here I am doing some shades or just darkening some areas to show you how you can add more detail to the small pictures and all. Now if you don't wanted to add much detail with oil pastels, you can just go for color pencil also. It's very important and it's a tip for you that you can actually go for color pencils wherever you feel that, oh, here I have not put much color and I wanted it to be fine. So you can go for color pencils because they are fine and can give effect very easily. Now the second one is technique. Oh, let me tell you beforehand, the color pencils, if you are going to use, you have to use oil based color pencils. Okay, not water based. Okay. So the second is technique. As I told you before, you in like second video or first video or third video, I'm not recalling. So technique. So the technique to use oil pastels are many, and I have already told you beforehand in my previous videos how to use oil pastels and what are the techniques. But I'll again explain what type of technique you will need in nature drawing. The first one is dot technique. Here what I did, it's like I've explained you before, and so I will not explain it again, but I would definitely tell you that both of these dot have difference in those things. Like one is I've started with darker shade and the second one is I've started with lighter shade. So depending on the light, you have to work on those skill. The second one is curling technique. So here I have just curled some light colors, then a little bit of dark and the darkest one, and I've made the tree out of it. Okay. The third one is using scratcher, and also what you can do, you can actually add some detail with the help of scratcher on bark of tree or on grasses. Like if you are willing to do something for grasses and all, so you can actually do this. The fourth one is similar to dot one only, but here what I am doing, it's a mark with the it's like line technique. So you will have to do these kind of technique in different things. Like there are many things that you have to do, and you can just go for it. Okay, the third one is position. So it's very important for you to understand what I am really talking about, so listen to me carefully. Okay, the position is like, where is your horizon dividing, or if you are going for vertical portrait, so you have to make sure where is your horizon is dividing. Now here I had made horizon on two specific position. The one is below the dividing line, and the second one is above the dividing line. So depending on the kind of picture you're drawing, or kind of drawing you're doing, you have to make sure if horizon is above or below or in center. If the land area is more, of course it would be above. If the sky area or the up above area is more, you have to make sure to make land area less than that. And just you can go for it. Now you, if you wanted to give it more specificness for understanding the things, so you can just draw with pencil and then erase a little bit, like 70 to 80%. You can erase it, and then you can use oil pastel over it. I would definitely wanted to tell you that position is very important wherever you are doing, or wherever you're putting anything, like any object, with the help of your pencil. It's not mean like object doesn't mean like to put anything. It's like whatever you're drawing is what I'm talking about. So wherever you are making anything, putting anything, you have to make sure where is the position, because position does matters a lot and can change the whole look of your painting. So I would definitely tell you to focus on position of anything whatever you're making. Now the fourth one is shades. So you have to make sure always what kinds of shades you're using, what kinds of colors you're using. Now basically you use some shades that are mostly used by you, and some shades are like needed very much in these kinds of painting. So the most used shades are like lemon yellow, light green, dark green, brown, blue, red. And considering all those shades related to these kinds of shades, you would definitely use in nature drawing. But my friend, there are some shades that give you a realistic feel, and these shades are earthy colors. Earthy colors, like I am showing you right now. So these are some gray green, sap green, yellow ochre, buff, then dark brown, then dark gray, light gray, and then you have some related like light brown and all. So there are some shades that give you some effect and are very very important for you to use. And yeah, I would also recommend you to go for the shades that you haven't used yet. It's a tip for you. Try to experiment as many shades as you can. Now, there are some shades that is in your box of your oil pastel, but you have never touched it before, like crimson red, maroon, fluorescent, and there's some fluorescent pink, and there's some shades like you have never touched it before, but you know they're good shades. So just go and try to use those shades, because if you will just see it how they are, it will not look good, because whatever you have is basically the way it looks is totally different the way they look on a piece of paper. So it's very important to use it on a piece of paper to check out how they work, and for that you have to use it. So it's a tip for you, and very important for you to acknowledge yourself and just try to bring as many shades as you can. Try to use them. And yeah, now here what I'm doing is I'm going to make two oil pasted coloring for you, like it's a tutorial and I will explain you everything when I will draw it. Okay, the first one is I'm going to draw a lotus in a pond. Well, definitely I will show more like leaves and all. There would be no uh, pond effect and all. So here I would just go for it. It's a small picture, so I would definitely not do much more detail on it. And the second one would be some kind of landscape, so I would definitely recommend you to go for the fine detail one and the little detail one, for you to understand nature drawing much more than you had known it before. Now, for anything, if you're making, you have to make sure to make a background, or like if you're going for detailing work, like here I am doing lotus. So I cannot just start with oil pastel. I definitely have to make it beforehand with the help of pencil. And yeah, that's why I've made it. But some portraits are like you can just start with background, then you can go for layering and can make beautiful outcome out of it. But it's not like that. It's, I have told you before, it's like much more detailed one. So that's why here I am doing this. Now, what I wanted to tell you, there are 2 points to understand in this portrait, or in this, you know, alpestra coloring. Is that first, what I did, I just started with white shade first, and I have colored all the tips of these petals with the help of white shades. So it's a tip for you. Tip number one is, whenever you're going for lighter thing, always start with lighter color, then go for dark. Because if the color is too vibrant, it would not look good and real. So here petals are obviously very light in shades, so that's why I've already used white beforehand, then I am using other shades. So because I'm using darker shades later, it gives a natural effect, and when I'm trying to blend it, it is very easily blendable, and it is also looking good. So now tip number two is, if you're sketching anything, like if it may be in oil pastel or it may be in watercoloring, always go for, straight lines. Just draw the thing what you're making with the help of straight line first, then add it curves, a little bit of curves in it, and then make your picture super complete. Now, as I did before, as you have seen it also, what I did, I just drawn a hexagon before I drawn this lotus. Okay, so with the help of that hexagon, I had a little bit of idea of position of petals, and then I decided to start it from the tip where the horizon is lying in between of that hexagon. So as you have seen it, it is very okay and it's natural to know about it. But if you don't understand what I'm talking, just push my video beforehand, like where I had started drawing this lotus, and go and watch out what I did. What I actually did is, I actually made a hexagon, and then I started with the tip in between of that horizon which I have created. Okay, so you can get some clue with because of these kind of technique about position of anything that you wanted to know about it. And if you will practice slowly and steadily, you will come to know that you're actually getting good in it. Now my first oil pastel coloring is ready, and as you can see, I'm adding a little bit detail over it. So yeah, now the second one is very easy, and it's the background one which I told you before, the easy one. So just start with horizon, then go for basic shades, then add some more effect on it, and yeah, you will get a good out of anything if you will try hard. Now, my friend, I really wanted to tell you that whatever you're doing, whatever, just make sure to practice daily. What you have to practice is just some lines, some shapes, something out of it, some doodling and all, with the help of pencil, that I have told you before also, but I'm telling you again. If you really wanted to get in any art, like it can be gouache, it can be acrylics, it can be oil painting, it can be oil pastels, it can be pencil shading, whatever. If you don't have command on your hand with the help of pencil, you're not going to be good anywhere. So make sure to practice a little bit of doodling or some basic shapes daily for at least 10 minutes, and that is enough for you to get grasp over anything, like grasp over pencil and on your hand. So yeah, my all pastel coloring are done, and these two are some other coloring that I did before. So if you like my video, make sure to like, share and subscribe. Bye.
Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You ought to know by